Joe Hopkins here, and this is why live music matters, right? Yeah. I'm going to tell you why, and I'm not going to give you the same stupid crap that everybody else tells you about supporting your local bands, right? Supporting the musicians, supporting this, supporting that. You have to see them live to support what they're doing, and that is good. It is good to support your favorite bands. But I'm going to tell you the thing that I haven't really heard people say, and I think on some level we understand this, but I don't hear a lot of people saying it. So I'm going to give it to you straight, because it is really good to see musicians that matter when they matter. And what I mean by that, why does everybody hold Woodstock up as this thing? Because it was a bunch of bands playing music that mattered when it mattered, in the moment that it was relevant, and it was a big damn deal at the time. It's still considered a big deal. People that went to Woodstock, oh my God, they went to Woodstock. It still happens. There's music that matters. And it doesn't have to matter in the same broad, big kind of way. It can matter to you and your local community and that kind of thing. Go see music that matters as it matters. Even if you're older, go see the younger bands that matter now. This is part of history. This is part of something that's happening, right? It's always been that way. I've had the privilege of getting to see some of the bands that matter when they mattered, when it was relevant, right? Probably the best example I can think of, I got to see Wu-Tang Clan and Rage Against the Machine performing in 1997, I think it was. This is when they mattered. This is when people, they were having riots after every show. And it mattered. It mattered to the people of my generation. I was young at the time. It mattered to us at that time. That's the music of the moment. That's what was getting people worked up. And that's when they were at their height. Both of those bands doing what they're doing. It's when all of Wu-Tang Clan was still alive, right? I could say I saw all of them. And then after that, they all started dying, right? Starting with ODB. But anyway, it was really awesome to see them when they mattered. Now, I've seen some great bands who were performing long after they were truly current and relevant. I got to see Black Sabbath when they got back together with Ozzy Osbourne, and that was awesome. But it's not the same as if I'd seen them in like 1972, 1971, when they really were relevant. And I've felt the difference. Believe me, when I go to see a band that matters right now, right, as I'm seeing them, it really feels different. I got to see Metallica in the 90s when they were at their height. I got to see, I went to see Everclear, right? Back in 1996, I got to see Everclear. And they were on tour with Tracy Bonham, 7 Year Bitch, and Space Hog. And that was an awesome show because those bands were current. They were relevant. Everybody there was, it was a current thing. They mattered at the moment. And you could feel it. You really could. And I love seeing bands that matter right now. In the last year, I got to see a couple of those. I went to see Childish Gambino, and he's relevant right now. And it really is different than, say, when I went to see Aerosmith on their Peace Out tour. Aerosmith was great, but Childish Gambino, there's a different feel when this is something that's current. And this is why live music matters, because just listening to the music that you love right now is great. But when you go to see them, you're communing. There's a whole community there. There's a whole bunch of people that are also there to see something that is relevant right now. I felt that way when I went to see St. Vincent. It's current. It's relevant. Everybody there is there to see something that's happening now, to be part of something that's happening now. Whereas, say, when I went to see the Scorpions a number of years ago, everybody's there to remember when. And that's cool. Don't get me wrong. Definitely go see your favorite bands of yesteryear. They're still excellent. But live music, it feels very different when it's something that's current. And that doesn't mean that they can't be an older band. Sometimes older bands find themselves relevant again, and they're doing stuff that matters at the moment, and it appeals, you know, and you get that same sense of community. But that's part of why live music matters. You're going not just to hear the band, but to hear the band with other people that are also passionate about what's going on. And it matters so much more when it is a relevant thing. There's more of an electricity in the air. You can really feel it. You can feel that this is something that's happening now. This is something that matters now. And it's something that you'll remember later. Believe me, it is something you'll remember later. I know that because I've been, like I said, I've been there. I've done that. I've gone to the things from my youth when I was young that were current, and looking back, I'm like, man, I'm glad I did that. Even some of the silly things, but it was big at the moment. Like one of the first concerts I went to, my friend's mom bought us tickets to see Milli Vanilli. If anybody remembers Milli Vanilli, right? This would have been in like 1990, 1991, something like that. They were friggin' huge at the time, right? I wasn't a big Milli Vanilli fan, but it's a show, right? I'm gonna go. And it definitely felt current. I look back, it's like, yeah, that's something that was hot at the moment. And it feels very different than seeing an older band that was hot once. No, it's different when it's hot now. I do have to say, I did not really like Milli Vanilli that much, but Young MC and LL Cool J opened for them. Those were the opening acts. And man, I'm glad I got to see LL Cool J early in his career. That was really cool. And it was something that, once again, was very current, and it feels good. It feels good to be part of something, even if just for a minute, you know? I still like to go to see bands that are current for that reason, right? I want to feel that thing again. I want to feel the youth around me being young and doing something that's relevant at the moment, listening to music that's relevant now. I don't want to get out of touch. And that's something I'd recommend to, I know a lot of my audience. I've looked at my analytics. A lot of you are older, right? You're my age or even a little bit older than me. And it can be good to find bands that are younger, acts that are younger, and go see them. Go see some live music. Go to a show with a bunch of young people and remember what it was like to be young. Because, I mean, dude, come on. You have to get older. You don't really have to grow up, right? And yeah, you're not going to mosh and crowd surf like you did when you were 20, but you can be there and watch the young people do their thing and enjoy it. Celebrate the fact that people are young. There are still young people. They're young. They're being young. Look out there. Look at them. Go to the show, even if you sit in the back. Watch them being kids and remember what it was like to live a little, you know? That's part of what the live music experience is. A big part of it. If you're young, go there, be young, make some memories. If you're older, go there and watch, just see young people being young and be glad that there are still young people around. That's a good thing. Remember when you were young? And if you're still a little on the hardier side, like I am, I'm still roughly in pretty good health, go ahead and get in the crowd. You know, be young a little bit. You only live once, and it doesn't last that long. So enjoy it while you got it. And that's why live music matters, man. It brings something to you. You can go there and be. I know that sounds kind of hippie, but you can just be. It's nice to find an environment where you don't have to be something, and there aren't a whole lot of expectations. You're all there to watch a rock and roll show, right? Or pop, hip hop, whatever it is. It's all rock and roll to me, baby. You can go to a show and just be. And you're just being with a whole bunch of other people that are just being. That's kind of cool, man. It's kind of nice to lose the expectations to a degree. Kind of like remembering when you were young, when there were less expectations on you. And now that I'm middle-aged, I like to release the expectations and go do something that has no expectations, at least not on me. I buy a ticket to a show, especially club shows. You show up and now the expectations, I guess, are on the people on stage. Yeah. I can let it go. It's nice. It's an environment where nobody expects anything from you personally, and you don't need to expect anything from yourself, and you can just rock out. I don't even care if the band sucks, although I will admit most bands I've seen have been pretty good. I've got to say, there've only been a handful of bands that I've ever gone to see that I really thought kind of stunk. And, you know, it happens. Milli Vanilli was one of those. They did suck. They did. I expected better, to be honest with you, since they were like #1 on the charts at the time. I expected better. But I did get to see LL Cool J, and that dude rocked the fucking house, man. But yeah, live music. That's why it matters, because it's a thing, and it's happening, and it's you know, it's happening. Not really, though. Bands that are relevant at the moment, when you go see them, you're communing here. And it's relevant right now. You feel it. You feel part of something. And it matters. And the silly thing is, this is what's crazy. This is why it doesn't matter who you're going to see, really. It doesn't really matter what they're relevant for or what's going on. It makes you feel like you're part of something, even if it's something that you wouldn't normally be a part of. It could be something you totally disagree with. It just feels nice to be part of something for a minute, part of something that's happening right now. And maybe tomorrow you'll go back to not supporting that thing. But for a minute, just go see the band and be part of something. It's fun. It's enjoyable, right? In a life where so much sucks, do something fun. Go see a live show, especially a live show with a band that's younger. If you're older. If you're young, find people your own age, right? But it's good to see young people doing young people things and changing the world. And they're so optimistic. They haven't figured it out yet, man. We're all doomed. But it's nice to pretend you don't know that for a little bit. All right, that's my retarded, drunken rant. I don't think that had as much to do with live music as I thought it would. Sometimes you go to make these videos and you have a really good idea, and it turns out that the idea maybe didn't go where you wanted it to go. I don't know. Maybe that's the beer talking. Anyway, yeah. You guys should listen to my less than currently relevant music that I personally put out. I got links to streaming below, and in a minute here, there's a playlist that comes up, says I Didn't Get a Memory. That's my album. It's on YouTube. and you should listen to it. Holy crap, dude. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I love y'all. Peace out, baby. Bye-bye.